Good morning and welcome to the Geelong Cricket Show here on this bright Saturday morning. Here Rawlins got his ACB shop top on. That's for the Aussie cricket buffs. That's what it's for. Joining me at the table of knowledge this morning is a gentleman who writes it, talks it, plays it, loves it, Tim Michell. How are you, Tim?
Yeah, very good, Graham. Thanks, and good morning, as always, to all the viewers out there. It certainly is going to be a massive day coming up and the start of the final round of competition on the Ballerine Peninsula Cricket Association. It's a huge round. We're still 8 teams vying for a spot in the final, so certainly looking forward to getting out there myself today and hopefully compiling a few runs as well.
And our special guest on this morning's Geelong Cricket Show in his younger days used to get the bus from Port Fairy to train it from Warrnambool to play with the Geelong Cricket Club, now settled down as one of the backbone boys at the St.Albans Breakwater Club, unbeaten in Geelong Cricket Association Division 3. A very warm welcome to Justine Miller. How are you, mate?
Good, thanks, Rawlo. Great to be here on this Saturday morning. Thanks for having me.
And he's proudly wearing the St Albans Breakwater Cricket Club
Yes,
top.
got it on there. Yes, doing the boys proud.
Yes, as they certainly are. We'll be catching up with Justin throughout the show. Turning our attention to Premier Cricket, and it is a very, very tight situation for the Geelong Cricket Club. They journey up the Punt Road today against, down at Geelong Cricket Ground. Beg your pardon, the seconds and the fourths are playing up in Melbourne. They have a one-day game because of the fact that Melbourne got washed out last week. We had a full day's play down at the Geelong Cricket Ground last week. Damien Shanahan winning the toss and putting Richmond in. Richmond enjoyed the batting conditions. They will resume at 11 o'clock this morning at 6 for 298. Tim, a big challenge for Geelong today, even though Aaron Finch will be back in the side.
It certainly is going to be, and obviously that might have had some bearing on the decision by Damien Shanahan last week to actually go out and decide to bowl the fact that Aaron Finch, who's been in fantastic touch with the bat, not only for the Cats this season, but also for Victoria, slots back into that side. So obviously there's one thing that is buoying the Cats there, but I think the thing that they'll take from last week, and yes, they are chasing 300, and we saw Shanners come out earlier in the week and say the Cats are pretty confident in chasing that total down because they've done it before. In Richmond's total, it wasn't about one guy making a big score. It was just about contributions across the board. And I think that's what the Cats will take from last week, knowing that if 3 or 4 or 5 players can get close to 50, then they're going to get close to that total of the Tigers and hopefully knock it off.
Justin, you've kept in contact with your mates at Geelong, particularly Shanners and a couple of other boys. Your thoughts on the Geelong's chances today?
I think Shanners knows what he's doing, so he's be backing himself this week. He's a very smart man with cricket, so I'm sure he'll back himself to get the runs this week.
As the way Rawlo's predicting the outcome of the other games in round 14, it could well be coming into the final round of home and away games where Geelong play Footscray Edgewater, that we have 3 teams, and Geelong could well be one of them if they don't win today, that'll be battling for 8th position on 38 points with only percentage differentiating them. If they win, they'll consolidate their position in the top 8. Good luck to Geelong Cats and Damien Shanahan and his charges down there at Premier Cricket. Turning our attention to the Ballerine Peninsula Cricket Association, and this is round 11, Lucky Legs 11. It is the ultimate home and away round of games, and a very, very big one indeed. Queenscliff in second position on the ladder, taking on Newcombe. You'd expect the Queenscliff Cougars to take this one over the Bulls.
Yeah, I think they'll do it fairly easily, Graham. They're in fantastic touch at the moment, obviously putting together 392 at home against Port Arlington. One of the interesting things, and the way it's looking like turning out, more than likely and almost certain that Colindina will finish top of the ladder and that Queenscliff will finish second on the table, which means the 2 sides with the all-weather wickets, which traditionally are a little bit bouncier than all the other pitches on the Ballerina, are going to be the 2 sides that finish top 2, get that home advantage all the way through the finals, and I think that's going to be huge. And we might see Colindina and Queenscliff really firm as the 2 serious contenders in the Ballerina if those 2 can get home finals all the way throughout.
And to the Cooter boys, yes, you're making Rawlo eat that ball yet continually, so well done. Anglesey, the bouncy Kangaroos take on Jan Juck down at Anglesey, and this should be an interesting battle given Jan Juck's current form, but Anglesey favoured to win, Tim?
Yeah, there was some improved signs for Jan Juck last week, and I know having spoken to their coach Aaron Muncie, he was saying that the club was happy to regain some respect. I know I tipped them fairly early in the season to finish probably top 2 or top 3. I thought there was that much improvement in their group, but they have been hurt a little bit by player unavailabilities. Ian Ligo, who got the majority of their runs last weekend against Drysdale, has been one that's probably only played 4 or 5 games. So Jan Juck brings some form in, but the way Peter Brackett and the boys from Anglesea are playing, I think they'll be looking to carry some good form into finals, and they can do that by claiming the 6 points over the next couple of weekends of cricket.
And in one of the cutthroat games, Drysdale, sitting in 4th position, will be taking on Barrable, who are sitting in 7th. Barrable looking for a win to keep alive their final 6 chances.
The equation is pretty simple for Barrable, Graham. They have to win to get in and then hope for another result as well, be that the result of the Wallington and Barwon Heads game. If Barwon Heads do go down today in that fixture, then it'll mean the chances open for Barrable there. I think that's probably one of the big games to watch for the Seagulls. Obviously, they'll be hoping that Barrable and Port Arlington, who are 8th as well, do go down. So I think Barrable are a serious chance of going down and knocking off Drysdale. They're not in the best form at the moment. The Hawks were knocked over last week by Jan Juck, and I think Barwon Heads are going to have to win because Barrable will win in that game.
5th place Wallington. Now they've won 3 on the trot, Wallington. They're currently sitting in 5th place, take on Barwon Heads. Barwon Heads have won 1 of their last 2 games. The previous to that was a bye. So it's a big challenge for the Barwon Heads boys. And unbiasedly, Tim, is Wallington really going to give you a shaker?
I think so, and obviously I will be playing in that game today for Barwon Heads, but all the Barwon Heads boys, and I'll be part of that, going over there knowing that Wallington are going to be a huge test. They always are on their home ground. It's traditionally one of the slower grounds in the Ballerine, so you really have to work to compile your runs, and that's something that we probably didn't do last weekend all that well against Ocean Grove, obviously only getting the 140 on the board, and Ocean Grove knocked that off pretty easily, as you should, chasing a total around about 140. So it's going to be a game where whichever side can really seize that initiative today, I think, will go on and win it. But Wallington, in one real positive for the club, are looking at finals for probably the first time in 4 or 5 years. So it'd be a great story if they could make it, but obviously I'm hoping the Barwon Heads can get the points in that one, Graham, and just sneak into the finals as well.
The Port Arlington Demons, they've lost 3 in a row. Their form has fallen away. Can they rebound in this final home and away game and upset ladder leaders Colandina as we go into finals time?
I can't see it happening, Graham. Obviously, as you said, Port Arlington are in very dire straits almost at the moment, having lost the 3 games since they came back from Christmas. Damien Vassal, who's still in fantastic touch, but they really need someone else to stand up, and they've got to hope for 2 other results as well to sneak into the finals. Port Arlington, I think, if they get there, they can make an impression, but I can't see them getting over the Cobras.
Okay, Tim, so what would your final prediction for the top 6 be? No change or 1 change?
Well, at the moment, I have to say, playing in the game for Barwon Heads today, I think, or over the next couple of weekends, I should say, I think Barwon Heads are good enough to get the points over Wallington, which will mean the Wallabies get pushed back to 6th. I think it'll be on percentage, Barrable will just miss out and they'll finish 7th. So I won't say the positions inside the top 6 will actually change, with Wallington slipping to 6th and potentially Barwon Heads going up to about 4th and facing Queenscliff in a final in the first weekend. But I think Barrable will just narrowly miss out.
That's the Premier and Bellarine Peninsula Cricket Association roundup as we go to a break on the Geelong Cricket Show. We'll be back after this.